Let me first talk about how we tackled this crisis as a European Union. Recently, we were confronted with the worst economic recession and financial crisis since the 30s. It affected all of us. We lost confidence, we lost production, we lost jobs, we lost assets. In these circumstances, Europe stumbled but did not fall. The Union acted with determination. European institutions and member states took the right and courageous measures. Common efforts resulted in restored confidence for consumers and investors, even if a lot of work is still to be done. This is crucial also for you, European brewers. And secondly, sound public finances are crucial for sustainable economic growth and competitiveness. We overcame the crisis of the euro, even if problems are not over yet. That is why Europe will keep an even closer eye on national budgets and do so at an earlier stage. The task force, which I chair, will define the tools and mechanisms we need to ensure stronger budgetary and economic discipline. This will contribute to more confidence, which you need to invest and create jobs. The economic outlook today is better than 1 year ago, better than expected. We seem set to avoid a new recession. For 2010 as a whole, economic growth is now expected to reach 1.8% on average, almost 2%, 3.5% in Germany. This is not sky high, but almost double of the forecasts this spring. We are on a path of recovery, but caution remains warranted. Structural economic growth remains our prior point of attention. When I became President of the European Council, I put this at the top of the agenda. We adopted in June a new economic strategy for Europe, the European Union 2020 strategy. It can give us the tools for competitiveness and growth for the next decade. Ladies and gentlemen, 2 decades ago, it was with the impulses of business associations that European leaders created the so-called single market. It turned out to be a recipe for growth and welfare. Lifting barriers to free circulation of goods, labor, and services brought economic gains. Also, for the breweries sector, the single market has been crucial. It is the biggest single market in the world. Now the single market has to enter a new stage. The crisis cannot lead us towards economic nationalism. We have to lift remaining barriers and bottlenecks. Fragmentation is still too high. Rules often still too complicated. The international dimension has to be strengthened. First of all, we have to complete the goods market. All barriers to free circulation of goods has in principle been lifted. Today, 25% of European GDP is generated by the goods sector, representing 75% of the commercial exchanges of the Union. But legislation has to be adapted, taking into account new technologies and changing consumer patterns. Secondly, also in the services market, there are still gaps. The potential economic benefit in the services market is between $60 and $140 billion. However, we see that only 20% of the services conducted in the European Union today have a transnational dimension. This entails a productivity gap between the Eurozone and the United States of 30%. And thirdly, in this topic on the single market, the fiscal dimension of the single market is an element of concern for your sector. As you know, member states remain largely sovereign in their fiscal policies. The EU inspects whether the conditions for fair competition are present. That is why we have in Europe some common rules for excises on alcohol with room for cultural differences. It is this delicate balance of respecting national and cultural characteristics at the one hand and avoiding market distortion in the single market at the other hand that European policy makers have to take into account. In the coming weeks, the European Commission will present concrete proposals to reform the single market, building on the recommendations made by the former Commissioner Mario Monti. A crucial factor for competitiveness of countries and sectors will be the capacity to innovate. Europe will support you here. Recent analysis shows that the capacity to innovate is important here, together, of course, with cost factors such as labor cost, productivity, and real exchange rates. The European Union already invests considerably in innovation today. The European programme is the largest single research programme in the world, with a budget of more than 50 billion euros over the period 2007-2013. But we have to think ahead. Europe has to have the ambition to become a flexible, innovative union. I decided to devote the European Council of Heads of State and of Government of December 2010 to this important topic of innovation. I want the European Council to reflect on the impulses we need to create this true single market for innovation. We have to discuss how to coordinate policies at the European, national or regional level better. We have to mobilize resources more efficiently. Ladies and gentlemen, Europe's motto, unity in diversity, can be applied to the brewers of Europe. United in your various strengths, you play an important economic and community building role. And your diversity enriches our European culture and heritage. The European Union will further invest in sound policies to give you the tools that you need to further flourish and grow in Europe. We will continue to do this on the basis of dialogue and discussion. I think that the European Parliament Beer Club is the perfect forum for this. Thank you very much.